Good evening and welcome to Premier League Live on LFS as Tottenham host Chelsea in the final Premier League game of match week 11. Mauricio Pochettino comes back to the club he managed for over 6 years. He will be here tonight hoping to get 3 points with his Chelsea side. Ange Postecoglou's Spurs are on an unbeaten run, the only unbeaten side in the Premier League. To come tonight, they will be hoping to get another big win over their bitter rivals. Let's have a look at tonight's team news then, and Ange Postecoglou makes 2 changes. Destiny Udogie returns to the Tottenham starting 11, having missed the 2-1 victory at Crystal Palace with a knock. He replaces the absent Ben Davies at left back. There's also a start for Brennan Johnson in replace of Richarlison, with the Brazilian dropping to the bench. The Spurs team is as follows: Vicario in goal, a back 4 of Pedro Porro, Christian Romero, Mickey van de Ven and Destiny Udogie, a midfield 2 of Yves Bissouma and Pap Sarr, with a front 4 of James Maddison, Brennan Johnson, Dejan Kulusevski and captain Heung-min Son. For Chelsea, Mauricio Pochettino makes 2 changes from Chelsea's 2-0 home loss to Brentford 9 days ago. Marco Correa comes out as Reece James returns to captain his side. Noni Madueke is also dropped as Enzo Fernandez returns to midfield. Benoit Badiashile is named on the bench after scoring in the Carabao Cup win over Blackburn last week, and so too is Mykhailo Mudryk. For Chelsea, Sanchez starts in goal, a back 4 of Reece James the captain, Axel Disasi, Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill, a midfield 2 of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, with Conor Gallagher in a more attacking role in midfield, with a front 3 of Cole Palmer, Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson. The benches for both sides: Tottenham have Fraser Forster, Eric Dyer, Giovanni Lo Celso, Rodrigo Bentancur, Oliver Skip, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Emerson Royal, Brian Gil and Richarlison. For Chelsea's bench is Petrovic, Malo Gusto, Bueno Badiashile, Ian Matson, Marco Correa, Leslie Ugochukwu, Mykhailo Mudryk, David Washington and Noni Madueke, all on the bench tonight. Spurs, the only unbeaten side in the league, looking to make it 11 unbeaten. Chelsea sit in 13th, look to close the gap and head into the top half of the table. Spurs-Chelsea kick-off is on the way next. Good evening and welcome to Premier League Live. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at the moment, there is the playing of the last post, along with wreaths with poppies laid down on the pitch. Both sets of players and the officials surround the centre circle in remembering all of those who gave their lives so we could have ours. Remembrance Sunday is next Sunday, and Spurs' last home game before Remembrance Sunday is being commemorated this evening. A cheer and an applause goes around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium after that moment of reflection. Of course, Remembrance Sunday this Sunday, and of course Spurs choosing as tonight a real proper fixture for such a significant event. Right, back to the football, and it is time for two top-class football clubs to face off on the pitch. Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham and Mauricio Pochettino's Chelsea. Pochettino back at Spurs since 4 years ago since his sacking. That was the season after he brought them to a Champions League final. A lot of controversy over his sacking. He's at Chelsea, the other side of London, the bitter rivals of Spurs, and they face each other tonight. Tottenham looking to go back to the summit of the Premier League. Chelsea only looking to get into the top half of the table. Both would need a win to fulfill their objectives for tonight. Spurs in their all white, Chelsea in all blue, as of course both in their home kits this evening here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs will have a early throw in on the right hand side for Levi Colwill there, putting that ball out of play. Good evening to everyone watching in the chat. Very warm welcome. Get involved in the chat. Do have some conversation. I'm here tonight to enjoy the football but also have some conversation. Spurs give the ball away there. Sterling with a heavy touch gives it straight back to Porro. And Kulusevski trying to break down the right hand side. Referee had a think and did give the free kick to Spurs. Levi Colwill committing the foul. They've played the free kick quickly, but the referee will not allow that. Ask them to pull it back and take it again. The referee this evening, Michael Oliver, one of the most experienced referees in the Premier League. If he can't do it right, who can? Our VAR is John Brooks as well this evening. Under high scrutiny over the weekend, VAR, as always. The referees always under massive scrutiny in the Premier League. Lovely switch ball by Romero. Finds Brennan Johnson on the left, who massively impressed when coming on against Crystal Palace on the Friday night football last weekend. And that's a massive player that night. Brennan Johnson very much involved in Spurs attacking play, replacing Richarlison tonight, who's on the bench. He's come under some recent criticism, Richarlison. Johnson coming off the left and Son playing through the middle as the central striker for Tottenham tonight. Here's Christian Romero to Mickey van de Ven. Brennan Johnson occupying the left-hand side. Plays a nice ball to Udogie on the overlap. Tries to play it centrally, but overhit that one, Udogie. Spurs have won it back, though. Caicedo trying to battle for it back. It's still bouncing around. Chelsea do have it back now with Reece James. And then Dizazi goes long. Intercepted. Oh, Van de Ven almost putting it out of play there for a corner. Vicario did recover. Back with Van de Ven. And of course, Spurs accustomed to London derbies in recent weeks. We've had quite a lot of them. This is Spurs' third successive London derby. They had Fulham at home and Crystal Palace away in their last two games. And now they have Chelsea at home. Chelsea also have some recent London derby history. Their last two Premier League games were also London derbies. Actually, 3 of their last 4 have been London derbies. Fulham, Arsenal and Brentford in 3 of their last 4 games. They haven't picked up just a point out of those last 2 games. Chelsea beaten by Brentford in that draw against Arsenal a few weeks ago. Significant for Chelsea, and how they've started the season has really been kind of up and down. They're in the bottom half of the table, 13th in the league. 12 points from their first 10 games is certainly not what Chelsea where they would want to be. Giving up more points than they're earning at the moment, Chelsea. Although they're trying to press Bissouma there, but that's lovely from Yves Bissouma. Although Spurs a bit comfortable in the middle, giving the ball away. One back by Maddison. Maddison trying to go long. Hit the hand of Fernandez. They wanted a handball there, Spurs, but the referee will play on as they have possession. Ball in behind. Finds Heung-min Son. Straight at Robert Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. But he's off the mark. He's already got a shot on target tonight. James Maddison starts it all very deep inside his own half. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Trying to see who it was. I think it was Sarr, that played the ball. Trying to find Son. Running in behind the Chelsea defence and took the shot at Sanchez at a tight angle. And Sanchez got down and made the save. And that was poor from Colwill, trying to break down the left there. Putting the ball straight out of play again. There's been big conversation prior to the kick-off about strike forces and attacking players. Chelsea certainly still looking for that out-and-out striker. Nicholas Jackson's been the go-to man since the start of the season for Chelsea, but not been particularly ruthless, shall we say. Heung-min Son, on the other hand, definitely. And here comes Spurs, down the right-hand side with Kulusevski. Left-footed, taking a deflection, and it's in! Dejan Kulusevski, his first shot of the game. Spurs' real first foray forward down the right-hand side. And as Dejan Kulusevski cuts in onto his left, takes the shot, takes a deflection. No chance for Robert Sanchez. He's dove one way, the balls went the other, and Spurs have an early lead. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0, and it didn't take too long. Too easy, really. It's a movement down the left. It's a switch ball from the left-hand side. They find the spaces. Sarr gives it to Kulusevski, who's got an abundance of space on that right-hand side. Chelsea are so narrow that they're so tight in. Colwill doesn't come to his man, waits for his man to come to him, and he pays the ultimate price. It hits off the back of Levi Colwill and into his own net past Robert Sanchez. Kulusevski, I don't know if he'll get credited the goal. He should do, because it might be going on target. It looked like a cross initially, and Colwill just hits it into his own net, and that will be a massive, massive blow to Chelsea early on. A great goal for Spurs to score early in the game to get the momentum, and now Brennan Johnson's through, looking for a second. The ball across will be retrieved by Kulusevski. Here he is, breaking into the box, gets to the byline, tries to cut it back. Gallagher on the cover. Chelsea can't get it away. Shot from distance. Straight at Robert Sanchez. Spurs are purring at the moment. They're in electric form. All over Chelsea here. Chelsea can't even get it out of their own box. Sterling tries to carry it away after Gallagher, and he just gets beaten there by Pedro Porro, who takes a strike with his left. Sanchez was behind it, but Spurs are looking to make it even better for themselves early on here. When it's going your way, everything seems to go your way. And at the moment, for Spurs, it seems like everything they touch turns into goals. And Chelsea need to regain their composure quite quickly here, because if they let this get away from them, this could turn into a very big scoreline very quickly. Here comes Moises Caicedo, though. Out to the left, brought down by Sterling. Instantly pressed by Kulusevski, but it goes back to Colwill. Fernandez. Looking for the ball over the top to find Reece James on the run, but that one is far too much on it. Straight to Vicario, who can recover for Tottenham. And Spurs have had 76% of the ball in the first 8 minutes. So they are the dominant side. They have been dominating the ball early on. Chelsea have allowed them to have that electric start. Haven't been done enough to combat them early on. It's that midfield again. You talk about dominance in midfield, gives you that real control of a game, and so far the Spurs midfield have probably been the better. Maddison, Basuma and Sarr, compared to that of Gallagher, Caicedo and Fernandez in Chelsea colours. I think they've just been more kind of taken more initiative, been more intuitive with their passing and their play and their movement as well. Chelsea really haven't been able to cover them. Very, very narrow, Chelsea. That's one thing I will make the point of. Their wide players are coming in field quite a bit when they're out of possession, but Spurs are playing intricate football and beating the press every time. Here's Johnson on the left. Finds it into the box. Udogie cuts it back for Madison. Madison looking for the run of Porro into the box. Half cleared by Colwell. Porro puts a ball in. Udogie's there to threaten. Brennan Johnson as well, but Chelsea have it here with Palmer to carry it away. Under pressure is Cole Palmer. Battling with Madison and taken out by Madison there, Cole Palmer, and that will be a Chelsea free kick. But the switch ball for Spurs always seems to be on as well. And that happens when the opposition have such a narrow defence. And when they're out of a possession, it allows Spurs to get their wide players involved in the game. And when they're so tight on one side, it opens the space up on the far side for the opposing side of the pitch. And multiple times in the game so far, that switch has been on for Tottenham. And they've taken that opportunity more than enough times. Cole Palmer wins it back for Chelsea though. Here's Sterling, heavy first touch. Kulishevsky instantly on the press, and that last touch is off Dejan Kulishevsky, and will give Chelsea the throw in on the left. So an early goal for Spurs has them firing, has them ahead, has them top of the Premier League table as it stands. That's a poor switch ball from Chelsea. Maxwell Dizazi there, putting the ball straight out of play. Of course, one big bonus for Chelsea tonight, their two changes that they made from that Brentford game. Fernandes and Dizazi, although we've got it back here, Chelsea. Here's Nicholas Jackson! Big save by Vicario. Palms it wide. Jackson had such an opportunity to level it there. It was a poor giveaway from Spurs in the midfield. As Pedro Porro completely miskicks it. Sterling picks up the ball. Spurs completely overrun at the back, and Jackson works it into the box, spins away from his marker, takes the strike with his right foot, beats Sarr, right-footed strike, and Vicario dives to his left-hand side with his left hand. Brilliant save by the Spurs keeper to put it wide for the Chelsea corner. Here's Gallagher to take. Right-footed, whipped in, headed down and bouncing up, but will bounce out of play for a goal kick to Spurs. But there is a glimpse there that Chelsea do have opportunities, do have the chance to catch Spurs out if they get the press on early enough, Chelsea. Here's Destiny Udogie, who's a big bonus for Spurs, having him back. He's performed massively at left back this season for Tottenham. Been a real key component in the Spurs attack. Udogie wants to keep himself going, was fouled initially. Referee was going to play advantage. Spurs have got the free kick and they've taken it quickly. Here's Sarr. Down the right is Kulishevsky. Up against Colwell. Cuts inside again. Goes backwards. Kulishevsky has to be going backwards. Porro. Back to Sarr. Has to go all the way back to Vicario. Good press by Chelsea, but again, Spurs just look really comfortable in the wide areas. And we knew this coming into this game. What Chelsea would need to do against Spurs was negate that wide player role. But they've opened it up beautifully. Here's Udogie. Finds Brennan Johnson and Son! Heung-min Son for two. But the flag is up. I thought it was too easy. It looked too easy for Spurs. But we see this again. It's breathtaking. How tight Chelsea are on one side, it opens the door completely on the other. Udogie just has to link it up in the middle, and Brennan Johnson's got miles of space on that left-hand side. Plays it right across to Son. I think Son drifted offside. He's just ahead of the ball, I think. But look at that. Spurs could have two within 13 minutes. They're checking for offside here, VAR. I think he's just offside, Heung-min Son, but what a goal that would be if it's given. He looks offside from the angle I'm seeing here, which VAR checking. John Brooks, the VAR, as I mentioned. Just making sure that it is factually correct, that it is an offside. Of course, the goal was disallowed on the field. They are making sure that's the correct decision. But Mauricio Pochettino needs to get a hold of his troops at the moment and really get into his Chelsea team and figure out what is going wrong. Why are they so open? They're so compact and narrow in defence that it's catching them out in the wings, in the wide areas. And I get if you want to try and do that narrowly defending against a wide team, if you think that you can control the crosses. But that's twice now that Spurs have got it wide, cut it in field, and been able to put the ball in the back of the net. On this occasion, though, Chelsea will get away with it because Heung-min Son is offside. He's just drifted offside there. VAR confirming that decision. So the assistant flagged it on the field, and VAR have ratified that decision. So no goal for Spurs, no goal for Heung-min Son. But if it keeps going the way it's going, it won't be long before Spurs get another. But here's Jackson trying to break forward. Palmer picking up the loose ball. What Chelsea need is to kind of calm this game down, allowing Spurs to have all the control, all the tempo, all the pace of the game. And when Spurs are playing at such a quick tempo, they're so hard to kind of beat and stop. Here is Heung-min Son. Picks up the ball from the midfield. Drifts it out to the left-hand side for Brennan Johnson. Up against James. Brennan Johnson cuts back to Maddison. Maddison goes back outside. Up against Reece James, who defends it well. And Dizazi clears his lines. Spurs will just let it drift out for the throw in there. But they're so exposed, Chelsea. When Spurs move it wide. Just see how long it takes before Chelsea really figure that out and try and negate that. That's what I thought they were going to do from the off. Udogie with a throw in. Son chests it down. Dizazi marking him all the way into midfield. He's got a hold of him there, Dizazi, and he's just filing. Heung-min Son there held him for far too long. The referee's given Spurs a free kick here inside the Chelsea half. Sarr. Kulishevsky back to Pap Sarr. Across to Van de Ven. Now down the left-hand side is Brennan Johnson in miles of space again. Takes the... Looking for Maddison trying to play through ball. Takes a deflection. Will be a Spurs corner. Came off Cole Palmer last. It seems like Chelsea, what they're doing at the moment is getting their wingers, Sterling and Palmer, to drop in as extra defenders or cover for the wide players, because James and Colwell are very, very compact in that back four, it seems, for Chelsea at the moment. They're very, very narrow. They have a corner here, Spurs to attack. Chelsea have this corner to defend. Porro to take, whips it in, bouncing in the box. Son tried to head it. Kulishevsky will pick it up on the edge of the right-hand side of the box. Under pressure from Enzo Fernandez. Tries to beat past Fernandez, but Fernandez has him covered. And Caicedo can clear it away. Sterling can't pick it up. The referee's going to give out a yellow card and a free kick here for Chelsea. I thought Udogie, I think it was, that was challenging Raheem Sterling, but I thought he got the ball fairly there. I'll have to see the replay of it. The referee's given Destiny Udogie a yellow card here. It's Caicedo with the clearance, plays the ball straight to Sterling, and from that angle it looks like Udogie gets all ball. Oh, to be fair, although he does get the ball, he kind of leaves the field. He kind of jumps his way in, and now they're checking for a possible red here, VAR, because he's both feet off the floor. Out of control, Destiny Udogie here. Just seeing the replay of it. He does get the ball, but the follow-through is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Sterling does go down in result of it. I think it's very, very close. Luckily, Raheem Sterling pulls his left leg away just in time for it not to be clean, proper contact. It was just a skim off the left kind of shin of Raheem Sterling with his studs, but he's off the field, or he's off the floor when he's making the challenge. It's only a yellow card for Destiny Udogie. And I think, I wouldn't say he's lucky to get away with one, but I do think that's not It's in that kind of threshold between a yellow card and a red card. It's in between that one, and that's why you would err on the side of caution and give a yellow rather than a red, and that's what VAR have done. Agreed with the referee's decision of a yellow card. Sarr to Son. Son facing his own goal, goes back to Christian Romero. Van de Ven. It's not been short of incident so far this game. A red card check, a check of an offside goal, and a lovely finish by Kulishevsky that deflected off Colwell. Certainly got a lot of incident in the first 20 minutes here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in this London derby. Tottenham, as it stands, will go back to the top of the Premier League table above Manchester City, who completely thrashed Bournemouth on Saturday, 6-1. The champions, the challengers, will challenge them for the top spot, and will have top spot if they get 3 points tonight, Spurs. Lovely skill by Kulishevsky. Shove on Heung-min Son, but the referee said it was just a shove to get the ball. No foul. James with a lovely ball over the top, trying to find Sterling. Sterling's made the run. Sterling down the left-hand side, up against Porro. Bouncing around, keeps it alive. Raheem Sterling! It's in the net! And Chelsea have scored! It's definitely not a clean one, it's a scrappy one. But they all count, and Raheem Sterling visiting Tottenham Hotspur again and has put Chelsea back level. There's a lot of players on the ground. Colwell and Romero are both down on the floor, one for each team on the ground, but Raheem Sterling from nowhere has put Chelsea back level. It all comes from that scrappy challenge between Romero and Colwell, and then Caicedo goes down, but Reece James picks up the loose ball, fires a beautiful one out to the left-hand side. Sterling just carries it in. He takes the shot first time, hits Porro. It bounces down, and Sterling hits it into the net. But is there a handball in here? At some point it does. It won't count, I don't think, here, because I think it hits the hand of Raheem Sterling. It hits Sterling on the build-up. So basically, Romero kicks out here. It's all happening. So Romero has kicked out. They're checking for a possible handball on Raheem Sterling at the other end for the goal. As it hits Porro, he takes the strike and hits Porro. It bounces back onto the arm of Sterling, who he controls it with his arm, brings it down and shoots it into the net. It goes in off Vicario. But the goal should be disallowed for handball, and that's what VAR are checking. So the goal's given on the field. The VAR decision is still awaiting. We can see clearly from the still image, it hits the hand of Sterling, and the referee will disallow the goal. So VAR have disallowed it. Handball on Raheem Sterling. So Sterling hasn't levelled it. The other incident that a lot of people are talking about is Christian Romero. He does kick out at Levi Colwell. And it looks like VAR have already checked that. Just hearing from the feed there, Chelsea, Spurs will get away with another red card chance here. It's petulance rather than violent conduct from Christian Romero. There's no ball in play. Goes down, Romero, felt he was fouled, and then kicks out at Levi Colwell. I think he's very lucky there. Rather that VAR said that's petulance and petty rather than anything violent. But surely, I mean, you can review it yourself after the game and at the highlights, but my goodness me, it's a close one. Chelsea have won it back here again. Very physical as well this game early on. A lot of players going to ground, a lot of players wanting free kicks. That's twice now in a row Spurs have gone to ground and the referee's waved it away. He's definitely not taking any of it tonight, this referee, Michael Oliver. Reece James. The ball through the middle from Caicedo. Well, straight back into Spurs possession through Udogie. Back to Vicario. Van de Ven, the game just keeps delivering. Every couple of minutes there's just something more dramatic happening. We've already seen 2 red card checks for VAR, a disallowed goal for handball, a disallowed goal on the field that was ratified by VAR for offside. We've already seen a goal deflected, which Given deflected into the Chelsea net. I mean, have I missed anything? My goodness me. I mean, we've only played 24 minutes here, and we've already seen incidents that could fulfill 2 or 3 90-minute games, never mind a 1 90-minute game, never mind 25 minutes of play. Caicedo wins the ball back off Bissouma, and it's taken down there, Caicedo in the process, so he will get a free kick off Yves Bissouma there. So Chelsea free kick. It's a late one from Bissouma, just stands on his foot and then just drags him back as he doesn't get the ball, Bissouma. So it is a free kick, but Ange Postecoglou feels a bit hard done by, having felt that his players should have had a couple of free kicks earlier on for a few similar challenges. The referee's given Chelsea the free kick. Palmer and James over this one. I really couldn't say who's on top at the moment because there isn't either team on top. It's quite frantic. It's quite end-to-end. It's quite crazy. Free kicks delivered by Palmer. Bouncing around. Still not away. Gallagher with a header. Away. And the strike from distance is over the bar by Thiago Silva. Didn't get it away the first time there. Spurs were under pressure. The delivery from Palmer just lofted into the box. Romero's header just bounces straight up. Kept alive by Reece James, and Gallagher with a header forward. Disasi was almost there, but he was in an offside position anyway. They've got a bit sloppy here this game. Bouncing around. Enzo Fernandez strikes from distance. That one well wide of the left post. Goal kick. Well, since Tottenham have scored, Chelsea have had 7 shots. Just the one on target. But Spurs have had more possession. So Chelsea are certainly getting their shots off since that Spurs goal. Causing issues. And they've given it away again, Spurs. Here comes Raheem Sterling in the box. Fernandez keeps it alive. Jackson tries to keep it. Palmer now. Caicedo! 1-1! Moises Caicedo! Back level for Chelsea. This one won't be ruled out. But again, will it be ruled out? It's offside! Oh, goodness me! What's happening? Twice in a row, Chelsea have put the ball in the net, and it's been given offside. Or it's been disallowed, sorry. I don't even know what this is for. It has to be offside, but from who? See this again, they pick it up in the middle. Sterling has it, bouncing around. Fernandez keeps it. Is there a player offside that's kind of blocking the keeper? Maybe Nicholas Jackson, although slightly offside. Sterling is offside, but he's not impeding the keeper. Nicholas Jackson is offside, slightly. But would he be impeding the keeper? I have to see it from the reverse angle. It bounces out. Fernandez, it's cleared away by Romero. Falls to Caicedo. Or it will fall to Caicedo in a second here. Palmer kicks it out back to Caicedo, and then what are they checking for now? Don't tell me they're checking for a penalty here. Ooh! Romero on Fernandez. It might be a penalty, but wouldn't you rather give Chelsea the goal? They're checking for the disallowed goal. Right, this is a scramble. So Chelsea have scored. It was disallowed on the field for offside for Nicholas Jackson impeding the goalkeeper's review from the Moises Caicedo strike. He was in checking if he's in an offside position, Jackson. If he isn't, they should give this goal. We're checking to see if Jackson is in an offside position. They're drawing the lines now, John Brooks. He hasn't had a break, John Brooks. We haven't had a break. We've no idea what the hell is actually happening. Genuinely, this has to be the most frantic 29 minutes of Premier League football this season. And we thought Newcastle Arsenal was complex at the weekend with three big VAR checks before the goal for Newcastle. This is even worse. This is even crazier. I didn't think that was possible. And Jackson will be deemed offside. So he's in an offside position. So therefore they can't give the goal. But are they going to check for a penalty? So now we're going on to the penalty check. So Caicedo's goal won't count, but they're now checking for a possible penalty for a foul by Christian Romero. The first one they're looking for is Van de Ven on Sterling. Not much in that for me. And then Romero on Enzo Fernandez. He does follow through and does catch Enzo Fernandez on the left ankle. It is dangerous. It is a foul, surely. But he has played the ball. He's got the ball, Romero, but he's followed through right onto the left ankle of Enzo Fernandez. I don't think the follow through is excusable. The rest of it, fair enough, he's played the ball, he's gone for the ball. But the follow through is horrendous. And he could be in trouble in terms of a red card if a penalty is given. They're checking for offside in the build-up, so they're going to give it, surely. The referee's going to the screen. My goodness me, how many minutes of added time are we going to have at the end of this half? We've had that many VAR stoppages and breakups in play. So Michael Oliver is called to the screen. He will now check if he feels that it's a penalty after VAR done their checkings. And here we go. They're now saying if it's serious foul play. If it's serious foul play by Christian Romero, he could be seeing red here as well, on top of the fact of giving a penalty away. We will wait and see. Michael Oliver is reviewing the screen on the sidelines and trying to come up with a decision. Mauricio Pochettino is anticipating something. He is incensed. He's probably seen a replay on his monitor on the sidelines. Michael Oliver's left the screen. He's pointing to Christian Romero, or he's pointing to someone else. He's calling over Heung-min Son, the captain of Spurs, and Christian Romero. And now the referee's given the penalty. We'll see what the colour is. The card is red. Christian Romero is off, and Chelsea have been given a penalty. So, Christian Romero has fouled Enzo Fernandez, given away a penalty, and is deemed to have been serious foul play, therefore seeing red and leaving the field of play. So, Spurs down to 10. Chelsea have a penalty, and now they've replayed it in the stadium. They're not happy, the fans. They think he's got the ball. He did get the ball, but the follow-through is deemed serious foul play by the referee and the VAR. Therefore, Christian Romero is off. Heung-min Son is desperately arguing the Spurs side to this, but the referee is having none of it. He said the decision is the decision, and Christian Romero is not happy either. Ange Postecoglou will certainly not be happy. Neither team in North London will be happy after this. But have yours say. I think it is dangerous. The follow-through is dangerous. And now Spurs are going to make a substitution because they've one less defender on the field now. And he's going to have to sacrifice a young man in Brennan Johnson to be replaced by Eric Dyer. So an extra defender now having to come on for Spurs after losing a defender through Christian Romero's red card. Will mean Christian Romero will miss the next 3 games for Spurs. We'll talk about that in the aftermath of this penalty. Unbelievable. We've a lot to talk about at half-time. Stick around. Get your thoughts in the chat about this. What a first half we're seeing here. Cole Palmer, after Chelsea have had the ball in the net twice, is it third time's a charm? Cole Palmer to try and level it for Chelsea. Sterling and Caicedo had it in the net. They were disallowed. And Palmer finds its way through. Vicario dived the right way, but it went in off the inside of the post. and beat Vicario, and Chelsea are level. It is third time's lucky. Third time's a charm for Chelsea, who find the back of the net and get the goal that they have been so desperately looking for since Spurs took the lead. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. Spurs are also down to 10. Goodness me. Vicario ever so close. He gets his hand to it, but he could only save it onto the inside of the left post. It's a penalty, just to sum up how crazy this game is. How nuts this first 35 minutes has been. Cole Palmer to put Chelsea back level, and that will certainly be a lift for Chelsea. My goodness me, what a game. Genuinely, I cannot believe what we're watching here. This is unbelievable football. Unbelievable incidences in this game. And it's now 10-man Spurs having to get back in front against Chelsea at home. It was never going to be an easy ride for Spurs tonight. But early in the game, we thought it could be. With how they've started this match, 10 minutes in, Spurs could have been 2-3-0 up with the chances they created. But since that Spurs goal, it's been mostly all Chelsea in attacking areas. Now, Porro's gone down. He's on the sidelines. He felt he was fouled by Conor Gallagher. There's nothing really in that. I mean, Gallagher had the ball, but maybe Porro was just tipped. Yeah, he's actually gone in to tackle Gallagher himself there, Porro, and ended up injuring himself there. Nothing of Conor Gallagher's concern, or of his doing. Good evening, Clips. Welcome into the chat. Newcastle fan. Of course, get your thoughts in. Let us know what you're feeling, what you're thinking. Everyone in the chat, let us know what you think of this crazy, crazy football match. We'll talk through all the incidents at half-time. I was going to talk about my predictions, but we'll forget about that for the moment. Here's Raheem Sterling. Breaking forward. Jackson there to finish. And Jackson to turn it all around, but the flag is up again. That's the fourth time Chelsea have had the ball in the net. 3 of them disallowed. We'll see if this one's correct. Long ball. Yeah, Sterling's well offside there. It's quite an easy one for the assistant on the right-hand side. Sterling's well offside. Jackson's well onside, but the ball goes to Sterling first, and he's in an offside position. And certainly creating chances, Chelsea. They could have 4 goals here if they learnt the offside trap. Gallagher wins it back off Basuma. Spurs are kind of stunned here. They can't get themselves on the ball. They can't keep the ball for more than 5 seconds at the moment, Tottenham. Gallagher. Colwell. Back to Thiago Silva. Now Enzo Fernandez. Levi Colwell. Trying to lift it over the top for Jackson. Headed away by Romero. Sorry, not Romero. He's off the pitch. Van der Ven. All the way back to Silva. Caicedo. Fernandez. Well, after talk... there's another ball. Sterling breaking forward. Vicario comes quickly that time. Clears it away. I think Sterling might have been offside again there, if it had gone through. And picked up the ball. But what a contrast from talking about how Chelsea need to damage limitations after 10 minutes. It's now Spurs that need to damage limitations. They need to kind of chill out, slow the game down, and break it up as much as possible. Because Chelsea are growing in full control, and with the extra man on the field for Chelsea, they will only grow in confidence and grow more dominant in this game of football. That's exactly what Spurs don't need at this moment in time. The home crowd not giving up though. Getting behind their team. Sterling making that run down the left again. They tried that ball again, Chelsea, but just overhit that time. Vicario picking it up in the box. That's certainly what they're targeting. Colwell to find Sterling on the run. In behind. They need to be patient with it, Chelsea. Can't do it too often. Vicario goes long. Headed forward. There by Kulishevsky, but Chelsea break it apart again. Caicedo. This time he's beaten off the ball, and now Maddison carrying Spurs forward. Maddison broke up. Sarr takes it. Deflection straight into the hands of Robert Sanchez. This is such an unbelievable, crazy game. You never know what's going to happen next. Gallagher pips his way past Porro. Porro trying to recover. Stops Gallagher on the left. Sterling has it back. Now Colwell. Gallagher on the left-hand side. Caicedo to Fernandes. Fernandes with a switch ball. Palmer with miles of space on the right-hand side, but couldn't keep it in. There, Cole Palmer. Will be a Spurs throw-in. 40 minutes gone. And this first half has absolutely flown by, but I'm sure we'll have quite a bit of additional time at the end of the 45. With the many stoppages. I'm trying to actually count up on my head how many VAR checks we've had. There'll be not many. There's another yellow card coming out here. It's to the Spurs manager, Ange Postecoglou, I think, is going to get it. Michael Oliver booking the Spurs manager. Needs to control himself, Ange Postecoglou, but I'm sure I can understand the frustration and the emotions behind the managers. You know, we've seen it with Mikel Arteta on Saturday. How emotional and how incensed he was with VAR decisions. Here's Son. Broken apart there by Chelsea, but stolen back by Maddison. Maddison to Udogie. Back to Maddison again on the left. Udogie again trying to link up with Maddison there, but Dizazi breaking out apart. Maddison's gone down in the box. I think that was Maddison. It was. The Spurs put it out of play, and we'll get Maddison back involved. And we'll see what the issue is here with James Maddison. Maddison just makes the run, trying to go on a 1-2 with Udogie. He actually hurts himself. Nothing there from a Chelsea point of view to be worried about, but Maddison has hurt himself. He's really in a bit of pain. Maybe he's caught the turf. But could it go from bad to worse for Spurs in this first half? Losing a man, losing a goal. And could lose another player through injury, maybe. James Maddison in a bit of pain here with his left shin, it seems, left ankle area. He will receive treatment, so another stoppage in the game. Just see the replay of it. Maddison just plays it to Udogie, and Udogie trying to go for the 1-2 approach. There's nothing there at all. Not a challenge in sight. It's an innocuous one on James Maddison. And Heung-min Son is still arguing with the referee about previous decisions and previous incidents in the game. We're just seeing pictures of Heung-min Son still talking to the referee. They're just having a conversation now, Michael Oliver and the Spurs captain. There's food for thought for Mauricio Pochettino. Now coming up against 10 men. Maybe Chelsea can adjust their approach. Well, a former Spurs legend, Gareth Bale's in the heist tonight. 71 goals and 37 appearances for Spurs over the years. Over 2 spells here at Spurs, remember. And James Maddison back on his feet after receiving a bit of treatment. It was an innocuous one. There was no challenge anywhere from a Chelsea player. And he didn't catch the turf. It was quite an innocuous one that on James Maddison. He was off the pitch. He will come back on after 30 seconds, of course. Spurs down to 9 at the moment. Here's Enzo Fernandez trying to feed it through for Jackson. On the cover, Van de Ven left it for Vicario. Didn't realise Jackson was that close. Luckily, Vicario was closer. Now Van de Ven's gone down. Whatever's happened off the screen there, I didn't see. Ange Postecoglou's fuming at something. Whether it's Nicholas Jackson's left one in on Van de Ven. We'll see it again. He leaves the ball and... No, he pulls up. Oh, goodness. Mickey Van de Ven, full sprint. Feels his right kind of upper back leg go. figuring out what that is. Is that the calf? Looks like a calf issue. And it just looks like Spurs might have lost their centre-back partnership, a much reliable centre-back partnership in Romero and Van de Ven. It looks like they might lose both of them tonight. Romero threw a red card. 3 missed games if he does get that 3-match ban, Romero, which I think he will if it's serious foul play. And Van de Ven looks to be pulled up from a full sprint with Jackson injured. This is some contrast. This is a contrast I've never seen in a game of football. From the heights, the highest of highs, taking an early lead. Van de Ven's in some pain here. He's in real pain. Having to be helped off the pitch. He's in that much agony, holding his right calf. And they're going to make more changes here, Spurs. This has to be the craziest game of football I've seen this season. We will have 12 additional minutes. You know how nuts that is? 12 additional minutes. So, first substitution for Spurs. Van de Ven, of course, is leaving the field. He's being replaced by Emerson Royal. And the second substitution, James Maddison, is coming off. He is being replaced by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So Spurs, listen to this. They've lost a player through a red card in Christian Romero. They've had to bring off Brennan Johnson because of that. Bring on Eric Dyer. They've lost Vicky Van de Ven through injury. Royal's had to come on for him. And James Maddison might be an injury, so he's had to come off and he's been replaced by Højbjerg. All in that process, Chelsea have scored from a penalty. This is unbelievable. Genuinely. So they're having a 4-3-2 now, Spurs, in attack. And now the ball in behind. Sterling's made the run again. Chelsea identical to the other one. And Dyer skips his way through, challenging and putting the ball out for the corner. Again, it's Colwill to Sterling. Sterling's onside this time. Holds his run. But too easy again. Porro just steps up, allows Sterling in behind him. Sterling makes the run in behind, puts the ball across, looking for Jackson. And Dyer just getting back in time, stretching, putting the ball out for the corner. Denies Jackson a chance. Corner from Chelsea, whipped in. Disasi was first there, but that's headed clear. Caicedo keeps it alive. Sterling. Raheem Sterling lifting the ball into the box. Colwill at the back post. Straight at Vicario, who can catch. So 2 minutes of the 12 already gone. Spurs have another 10 minutes to hold on till half time. Wow. Genuinely, I am in disbelief. And I'm trying to figure out the Spurs back four. So the Spurs back four is Destiny Udogie at left back. Left centre back is Eric Dyer, after having coming on at right centre back. He's now left centre back. Emerson Royal has come on at right centre back, and then right back is Pedro Porro. So the two centre backs at the moment for Spurs are Eric Dyer and Emerson Royal, who is a full back by trade. Emerson Royal. They're going to get caught out here, surely, Spurs, with this back four. Not experienced with each other. And they could make the runs, test this Spurs defence with that high line. With them not having either of their starting centre-backs now on the field. Romero and Van de Ven both off the pitch. Here's Sterling. Blocked off that time. Ball through the middle, trying to find Sterling again. Caicedo picks up the loose one. Spurs can't keep it. Caicedo now. Reece James palmed out by Vicario and cleared away by Højbjerg. They're getting closer, Chelsea. Closer and closer. They want to have a lead before half time. Well, if Spurs don't end up losing this and they have an unbeaten run after this, credit to them, because everything, and I mean everything, has gone against them, it seems, tonight. Rightfully so, though. All correct decisions, I would say. But it seems like luck is even against them tonight. And they've given away another corner. Eric Dyer on the cover again from that cross from the right-hand side. So another Chelsea corner will be from the right-hand side. They've taken it short. Palmer with the delivery. Headed away by a Dougie. And Kulishevsky tried to break there. Thiago Silva on the cover. Gets it back to Robert Sanchez. Spreads it out to the left. The offside flag is up against Levi Colwill there. Spurs are still making the most of that offside trap. Get the ball back here. Here's Emerson Royale. To Dyer. Now Bissouma to Papsar. Trying to thread it through for Kulishevsky. Colwill on the cover, puts it out for a Spurs throw. So we've played 5 minutes of the added 12. I told you we would have significant added time at the end of the first half. After so many stoppages, so many incidents, so much drama. What a way to end a Premier League weekend. That's a nice bit of play from Spurs. Sarr. Out to the right is Porro. Porro with delivery in, and Kulishevsky just inches away from a touch there on the ball. And will go all the way through for a goal kick, but not too far away there, Spurs. Porro with the ball. Kulishevsky makes the run, and Disasi on the cover. Does just enough, Axel Disasi, to stop Kulishevsky with a shot. Stop Kulishevsky having a shot. Colwill. Back to Thiago Silva. Across to Disasi. Now Palmer. Infield to Caicedo. Going through the lines here, Chelsea. Fernandes. Out to the left-hand side is Sterling. Sterling charging towards the Spurs defence. Coming in field. Goes out back outside. Sterling goes down. Referee says no. And Porro is shouting at Sterling, saying he dived. And Michael Oliver had a fantastic view of it. We'll see it again. Sterling goes on the outside of Porro again. Charges right through. He wants a penalty there. That's never a penalty. Never a penalty. I think he should get booked for that. I think the referee, if he's not going to give a penalty there, he should give a yellow card to Raheem Sterling. Should have been booked there, Raheem Sterling. He got away with one. I think it was simulation. There was no touch from Porro whatsoever. You can see why Porro was so incensed by it. So annoyed that Sterling had gone to ground because he didn't touch him. Here's Reece James for the throw-in for Chelsea. Fernandes. Just keeping an eye on the Spurs defence. They're keeping a decent line at the moment, but they're a bit shaky. They're like snake. They're like a snake at the moment. High pressing from Spurs. It actually works. Robert Sanchez putting it straight out of play. Do they know they've got a man less, Spurs? Are they sure they know they've got 10 on the pitch and not 11? Son goes down from a challenge. Kept alive by Bissouma. Højbjerg with the ball in, cleared away. Sarr keeps it alive. Better from Spurs. Porro. Oh, gives it away there, Porro. It could be caught out here. Here's Gallagher. Jackson on the break. Spurs have cover, but Jackson's beat past his man. Back to Gallagher. Inside the Spurs half. Fernandes. Spurs have bodies back. 6 players back for them. James to Palmer. Palmer in the trying to get into the box. Flicks it back for James. Beats past his man. James across. Just out of the way. Cleared away by Emerson Royale. Kept alive though. Chelsea win it back. James to the back post. Headed away by Porro. Sarr carrying it away now. Sarr goes down from challenge by Jackson. And that'll be a free kick to Spurs and a yellow card for Nicholas Jackson. And now that it's all boiled over here. Caldwell and Sarr kind of scrapping. It's gone a bit. The tempers have been lost here. They're all going nuts. And now Caldwell is still going. He's now shouting at the referee. Enzo Fernandez is trying to push him away, but he's lost his head here. Levi Caldwell went nuts. It's like a deer in headlights. Sarr's been booked, and Caldwell should be booked here, surely. He will be booked, so Sarr and Caldwell will be booked for that whole altercation. We'll see it again. Sarr carries it away. Just dragged back there by Jackson. Goes to ground. See the aftermath. There's nothing really anything in that from Caldwell initially. Sarr just reacts and then Caldwell just goes nuts. Caldwell goes absolutely crazy. Trying to get himself at him. And Basuma's trying to get him away, and then Caldwell does give up. And then he starts shouting at the referee. Goodness me. I don't want this first half to end. So both players booked. I think we need about a 30-minute half-time to analyse what this first half has been all about. Nicholas Jackson's got his 6th yellow card of the season. Jesus. They're now checking for something else, VAR. They're now checking for Reece James' violent conduct. What's this? Oh, well, he's put his arm across there, Reece James. Goodness me, what is this? Reece James going up for the ball against Udogie. He goes for the ball. His arm just kind of hits Udogie in the face in the process. My goodness me. I think John Brooks is on drugs. What's he doing? What was that? There was no need to check that. My goodness me. This game's never going to end. We've already played 11.5 minutes of additional time. There might be even more than the 12 because we've had another stoppage, plus a few stoppages as well for an altercation as well. So we could be going for about 58 minutes here or something. Although if the referee's got a bit of brains, he would say, just call this half. Just call it half time as soon as the clock hits 57 minutes. We've just hit 57 and Chelsea will have a throw in. But they won't have enough time to take it. The referee does blow the end to the first half. A first half that has so much action. You need at least 30 or 40 minutes to talk through it all. We'll talk through it all in just a couple of minutes here. Half time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs down to 10 and Chelsea are back level. Half time, it's Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. Welcome back to Premier League Live. Half-time in the craziest game of the Premier League season so far. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1 at the break with Tottenham down to 10 men. We're going to go through every single incident from that first half because it has been a jam-packed first 57 minutes of football at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've already seen 9 big games this weekend. Manchester United beat Fulham 1-0. On Saturday lunchtime, Brentford 3-2 winners against West Ham. They were 2-1 down at one point in that game, Brentford, but came back to win 3-2. Crystal Palace won away at Burnley by 2-0. Roy Hodgson's side winning on the road again. Everton were winning against Brighton for quite a long time before an own goal from Ashley Young levelled it for Brighton late on. Manchester City made it easy workings against Bournemouth on Saturday afternoon as they beat Bournemouth by 6-1. Sheffield United got their first win of the season against Wolves as well at 3 o'clock on Saturday with a 2-1 win against Wolves and 100th minute penalty from Ollie Norwood to put Sheffield United with 3 points there. Newcastle controversially winning against Arsenal by a 1-0 at St James's Park. Nottingham Forest beat Aston Villa 2-0. For only the third time this season Forest have won, and only the third time this season Villa have lost. 2-0 there at the City Ground. And then Luton were winning against Liverpool, but a late equaliser from Luis Diaz sealed a point for Liverpool away at Kenilworth Road. A massive result for Luton, putting them out of the bottom 3. And Tottenham were going back top of the Premier League table at one point in this first half, but Chelsea found their way back level to have it 1-1 at the break. Right, let's talk through that first half then. That was the craziest first half I think I've ever seen. It's definitely the craziest first half of football this season. I think it would rival any other game for the craziest first half I've ever seen in Premier League football. It is the most craziest nuts game I've seen, and we still have another 45 minutes to go. So it all started, Spurs all over Chelsea early on in the game. For the first 10 minutes, it was literally Spurs were so on top. You thought this could be a cricket score if they got that as many shots off as they did in the first 10 minutes. They had 3 shots on target in the first 10 minutes. One of those was Dejan Kulusevski took the strike, cut inside from the right hand side. They had so much space early on, Spurs down the wings. They were causing Chelsea all sorts of problems, but it all starts with Dejan Kulusevski coming down the right hand side, cuts in on his right hand side, takes a shot with his left. It hits Levi Colwill. Colwill doesn't want to come out and challenge him because Chelsea are that narrow in a back four. They sit so narrow and deep. They're waiting for the player to come to them. It ends up costing Levi Colwill in the end as Kulusevski's strike deflects off the back of Colwill and into the Chelsea net for 1-0. Then we have so much drama. Chelsea had the ball in the net through Raheem Sterling. They had the net in through Nicholas Jackson, Moises Caicedo. All of those goals disallowed, either on the field or by VAR. Crazy. In the Caicedo one, the goal was disallowed, but in the process, before Caicedo took the strike, Christian Romero had actually fouled the Chelsea player in there. Actually, before that, go back. Udogie had a red card check as well on Raheem Sterling. I don't think it was a red. I think it was a yellow, and I think the referee was correct. Remember the Udogie chance early in the game, the Udogie yellow card that he got, diving in on Raheem Sterling. It is reckless. He is out of control, but the lucky thing for him is that he doesn't get clean contact on him, which Raheem Sterling did get out of the way just in time. We then see the Romero kick out. Now this is another one. I completely forgot about this. Romero had a kick out on Enzo Fernandez, I think it is. Or is it Colwill? It is Colwill. He kicks out at Colwill, Romero. VAR said it was petulance. Nothing violent conduct in that. That was crazy. That wasn't given for a red card. Then we go to the Caicedo disallowed goal. He was disallowed as Nicholas Jackson had impeded the goalkeeper in the build-up. It was a good strike by Caicedo, lovely goal, but Jackson did impede the goalkeeper in the build-up and Jackson was in an offside position. We then go to the penalty, back to this in the process. The penalty, Romero ends up fouling a Chelsea player on the field. It's Enzo Fernandez. I think he fouls. If I can see this. Yes, I see it again. So Romero gets the ball, gets away from him. He challenges Fernandez. He gets the ball, but leaves one in on Fernandez. I think it's a red card. I think it's correct. Penalty, red card, I think is the correct decision. It's a late one. Very, very late. He follows through. It's definitely a red card by Romero. Penalty. Slotted by Cole Palmer to get Chelsea back level. Remember, they had the ball in the net 4 times in that half. Twice before Palmer had found the back of the net. And Vicario does get the slightest of saves on it. Saves it onto the post, inside of the left post, bounces into the net for 1-1. And then Chelsea had another chance that was found into the net. And then we had a bit of a scuffle between Nicholas Jackson and Levi Cole, or not Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson did get a yellow card, his 6th of the season, for something else, for a foul. But argument between Sarr and Colwell got them both booked. Ange Postecoglou was also booked. This isn't even talking about the injuries that Spurs have had in the first half. They've had to lose Mickey van de Ven through injury. Madison could be off through injury as well. And Brennan Johnson, of course, having to come off for Eric Dyer after Christian Romero's red card. There are that many incidents. It's crazy to talk through. This is just unreal as to what we've had of a first half. Let me just talk you through the stats before we leave you, before the second half has to come on. It'll be coming on in a couple of minutes, around 5 minutes time. But the first half stats are as follows. Chelsea have had 52% possession, to Spurs was 48%. Chelsea have had 7 shots, to Spurs is 4. Chelsea have had 2 shots on target, to Spurs is 3. Chelsea have had 3 corners, to Spurs is 1. There have been similar passes. Passing accuracy is the same, 82% passing accuracy between 2 sides at the moment. That's really all the main information. At the moment, the XG for both sides, the XG for Chelsea 1.14, the XG for Spurs 0.15 overall in the game. Spurs at the moment in the table, we'll talk about that in a moment, will not be going back to top. We'll tell you about that when we come back. But at half time, it's Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. We'll be back in a couple of minutes to analyse the table, where they are at the moment, and the second half is just a couple of minutes away. If it's anything like the first half, we've got a cracker coming up for you. Do stay tuned on Premier League Live. Back in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Premier League Live. 4 minutes or so until the second half gets back underway at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This is the table as it stands. Spurs will be on course for their 3rd draw of the season. If they end up drawing this one, that will not put them back top of the Premier League table. It will only put them level on points with City. Won't put them above them because of goal difference. City has a 7 better off goal difference than Spurs at the moment. Both will be on 27 points. 3-point gap between them and the rest of the top 4, the other 2 teams in the top 4, Liverpool and Arsenal, on 24 points. Both dropped points this weekend. Arsenal losing to Newcastle and Liverpool drawing away at Luton. Aston Villa also beaten this weekend. They were beaten away at Nottingham Forest. So it means we could be on course for the only one of the top 5 winning this weekend. That was Manchester City. If results all stay, if the Spurs score stays the same, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal and Aston Villa will all have dropped points, which helps the teams below them. Newcastle, who won earlier this week ends against Arsenal, closing the gap to the top 5 to 2 points. Brighton also picking up points. They got a draw away at Everton. They sit in 7th, just ahead of Manchester United on goal difference, who won away at Fulham. Brentford, who also won against West Ham, and Crystal Palace, who also won this weekend away at Burnley. The bottom half of the table, which where Chelsea sit at the moment. They sit 12th at the moment. With a point, they would go back above Nottingham Forest, who pipped them yesterday after their win. Chelsea will go back above them on goal difference. West Ham's at 11th, Chelsea in 12th, Forest in 13th. 13-14 points between those three teams. 12 and 11 between Wolves, Fulham and Everton. And then that breakaway, the bottom 4, Luton, Bournemouth, Burnley, Sheffield United, all on single-digit points. The only 2 teams at the bottom 4 picking up points this weekend, Luton and Sheffield United. A draw for Luton and a win for Sheffield United. Right. I was going to do my predictions. I can run you through them, my weekend's predictions and what the scores are. So these are the scores. I can run you through what my predictions were. So let's just have a look at the predictions. This is the short that we put up earlier this weekend. I predicted a win for Manchester United. That was correct. I predicted a draw between Brentford and West Ham. It was very close, but Brentford got the winner to win 3-2. I predicted Palace would win and keep a clean sheet away at Burnley. I got that correct. I didn't think Brighton would drop points away at Everton, but they did. I think City clearly winning at home against Bournemouth. I didn't expect Bournemouth to score, though, but they did in the end, winning 6-1 City, but I predicted 4-0. I predicted Wolves to win away at Sheffield United, but that turned out the opposite scoreline, with Sheffield United winning at home to Wolves. I predicted a draw between Newcastle and Arsenal. That was also incorrect. I also got the Forest Aston Villa score wrong completely. I predicted Villa to score 3 goals. They failed to score for only the 3rd time this season. And Liverpool winning 3-1 at Luton. I predicted Luton got a point out of that one, 1-1, and I predicted Spurs to win 2-1 against Chelsea. At the moment, that is still on. Spurs nick a goal in the second half to win 2-1, but at the half time it is still 1-1. The second half at Tottenham is on the way in just a moment. We'll go to a quick break and we'll go back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in just a moment. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Premier League Live for the commentary of Tottenham against Chelsea in the most craziest game we've seen all season. In that first half, and we're going to make they're going to make changes. Chelsea are going to make that change. Levi Colwill on a yellow card. Seemed a bit frantic in that first half. He's been taken off and replaced by Marco Correa this evening. We'll get back to the main screen as we're ready to go. All 21 players on the field, ready for the restart. We will see. Waiting on the restart from the ref here, Michael Oliver, who's had a busy first half. Michael Oliver, the referee. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. Greatly appreciated. You're on watching one of the most unbelievable games of the season here with us here on LFS this evening. Chelsea make a quick run in behind. Jackson trying to spin away from Vicario. Vicario got the clearance. The offside flag stayed down against Nicholas Jackson there. Well, we talked about that in the first half. If Chelsea have got any brains, they'll put the ball in behind against this inexperienced Spurs back four. They haven't played with each other at all, really. And that will test them. That high line, they will be tested in this second half. That'll be the question. Will Ange Postecoglou stick to his system, or will he just drop a bit deeper, just sit back a bit more, and allow Chelsea to have more of the ball? Because a draw is still a positive result for them at this stage, having lost key players in Maddison and Brennan Johnson And of course their two centre-backs in Van de Ven and Romero. It's almost like they've lost the majority of their stars, really, in this team. The only one remaining is Son and Kulishevsky, really. They lost those two. It really would be a Spurs team that no one really knows. Here's Conor Gallagher for Chelsea. Palmer. Miles of space. Palmer with a strike. Didn't catch it right there, Cole Palmer. Goes wide of the left post. It's a nice run by Gallagher. Found the space for Palmer to run into. Palmer on the edge of the box. Takes the strike with his left foot. Opens up. Left footed. Trying to curl it, but got it all wrong. Went well wide from Cole Palmer. He got the equaliser from the penalty spot for Chelsea. Couldn't score from open play there. Ball out from the back from Vicario. All the way through to Cucurella. And Sanchez to knock it long. Down the line. Chested down by Sarr. Son keeping it alive. Just about, but can't keep the possession. Gallagher knocks it over the top. Running in behind was Sterling. Brought it down, and the last touch is off Emerson Royal. Will be a Chelsea throw-in, I think. It will be indeed. Raheem Sterling will surely want a goal in this second half for himself. Had a goal disallowed in the first half, Raheem Sterling. That was one of the many incidents. For a handball it was. Sterling linking up. Ball bouncing out there for another Spurs throw. They will get there. Caicedo. Spurs give it away. Reece James. To Palmer, back to James. Now Dizazi. Finds Fernandez. Under pressure. Stolen away from Enzo Fernandez. Here's Sarr carrying it through. Trying to find Son. Just underhead it there. Pap Sarr, and Dizazi was on the cover. Gallagher now finds Cucurella breaking down the left. His ball is deflected, and that will take its last touch off Pedro Porro and will go out for a Chelsea throw on the left. They were close there, Spurs. There is an outlet there. Steal the ball away in the midfield from Enzo Fernandez. Far too sloppy on the ball. Loses out. Sarr picks it up, trying to feed Son. Made the run in behind, but couldn't find the ball through. And then Cucurella from that throw-in. There was an offside in there somewhere. Now Spurs will get the free kick inside their own half. 4 minutes gone. Royal back to Vicario. Across to Dyer. Now to Udogie. Under pressure. Loses out there, runs out of pitch room. And that will be a Chelsea throw. Taken by Palmer. Brought down by Gallagher. Back to Palmer on the right. Gets past his man, under pressure still, Cole Palmer, but carries it away with ease. Dizazi. Fernandez. Here's Jackson. Spins away. Finds Sterling in the space on the left. Sterling into the box. Raheem Sterling plays it on for Cucurella at the byline. Tries to cut it across. Kept in by Porro. Does well. Pedro Porro goes long, trying to find Son. Dizazi should have this one covered, and does. Plays it back to Sanchez. Plays out from the back. Reece James to Caicedo. But that's the idea for Spurs. Win the ball back and pop it up top. Cucurella. Sterling. A lot of space for Chelsea. Sterling trying to open one up and had the curl on it, but didn't get the pace behind it. Simple enough catch for Vicario there against Raheem Sterling. See it. Here's Emerson Royal to Dyer. Now to Bissouma under pressure there. Gallagher wins it back on the edge of the box. Gallagher's brought down there by Yves Bissouma. Bit of frustration there maybe. And that's a free kick to Chelsea. Spurs playing out from the back. They just give it away. Gallagher picks it up. It's forced wide on the left, and Basuma just fouling the Chelsea player. And Chelsea will get the free kick. High up on the left-hand side. Reece James and Conor Gallagher over this one for the Blues. Gallagher will leave it. Reece James will be the man to take. Right-footed. Lifts it to the back post. James. There's no one chasing that one. And that was left by Udogie. And we'll run through for the goal kick. I'll just remind you of all the yellow cards we have as well. Jackson, Udogie and Sarr all on yellow cards. And all still on the pitch. Levi Colwell's the only man who received a yellow card and isn't involved in the pitch on the pitch anymore. Smart from a Chelsea point of view, probably. All forward from Kulishevsky trying to find Son there. Well covered by Thiago Silva. James under pressure by Kulishevsky, but they work out of that well. Chelsea will really well worked. And then the foul on Axel Disasi there will give Chelsea the free kick. Kulishevsky committing that foul. Well, the home crowd are certainly not giving up here. They've certainly not felt like they've seen the end of their side tonight. They're still putting in challenges, still battling for the ball, Spurs. They're still fighting in this game. And that is credit to them. I did mention anything out of this game for Spurs would be a bonus. Here's Sterling. Leaves his man for dead. Raheem Sterling headed away. Fernandez picks it up. He's brought down. Referee says no foul and Spurs on the counter. Here's Højbjerg. He's got Kulishevsky wide right. And he takes that option. Kulishevsky back to Højbjerg. Now Kulishevsky on the right hand side again. Spurs. Chelsea have bodies back. They're waiting for it. Here's Kulishevsky. Tries to get past Kukurea. Still going Kulishevsky. Cuts it back to Basuma. Spins away from his man. Basuma tries to get a strike off. Kind of rolls the ball. And Chelsea have bodies in the way to block it and clear it away. Sterling now on the counter. It's a 3-on-2. Here's Chelsea, a golden opportunity. Raheem Sterling tries to find Palmer. What an awful decision. Oh, and that's a late one. That's another late challenge by Spurs, and it's Udogie this time on Sterling. This could be another yellow. Now Udogie's going off, surely, if he gets a yellow. They need to be careful now, Spurs. He's going. Udogie's gone. I mentioned it. Udogie, if he got another yellow, he would be leaving the field, and he makes a stupid decision. And Spurs down to 9. Anybody feeling a bit of deja vu? 9 players on the pitch at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Goodness me, what's he doing here? Goes for the ball. It's a stupid thing to do. Raheem Sterling's got that ball all day long, and Ange Postecoglou knows it. He knows his player's done something stupid there, and he has. And he sees red. The second Spurs player to see red tonight. And he's not just going to miss Van de Ven and Romero. He's going to probably miss all of his back four here. Because Udogie's gone too. And he will miss the next game. He will only get a 1-match ban, though, because it's a second yellow rather than a straight red. Spurs down to 9 men. What the actual hell is going on? Reece James now. Jackson! Just off the crossbar. Just over the line. Or just off the line from Højbjerg and over the bar. Goodness me. From this free kick. It's cute from Chelsea linking up. The ball bounces into the box and Jackson ever so close at heading it over the line. And Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is on the line to kick it over the crossbar for the corner. Spurs clinging on here. It really would be a miracle if they do end up coming out with something out of this now. Spurs down to 9 and under the cosh. Cleared away by Højbjerg, that corner. My goodness me. Well, what's the actual limit? We talked, I think it was spoken about when Spurs played Liverpool here, and Liverpool went down to 9. Ball over the top from Chelsea. Fernandes can't gather it, but he's offside. What's the actual limit? I think it's 4 red cards you have to have in a game of football before it has to be abandoned. For lack of players. I think there has to be at least 18 players on the field for it to be a fair game. Spurs down to 9. That's 8 outfield players. They've lost 2 defenders. I've actually no idea what they're trying to do now, Spurs. I don't even know what they're going to be doing here. It's kind of just damage limitations at its finest. Get all your players behind the ball. Chelsea are going to make another change here. They feel that, of course, they have 2-man advantage now. They have all the power, and they're going to bring an extra attacker on, as they can probably afford to do so. So Enzo Fernandez is making way. He will be replaced by Mikhailo Mudryk. So an extra pacey player for Chelsea to throw at the Spurs defence. And now only one, listen to this, only one of the Spurs back 4 that started the game is playing at the moment. Mudryk plays a through ball. Jackson's through here. Jackson to put them to ahead. Big miss. Big save. Follow up by Palmer. Saved. The flag goes up anyway in the end for an offside against Chelsea, but Vicario didn't know that, and he had to make 2 big saves. Cucurella finds it to Mudryk down the left. He was onside. Jackson was off. Jackson played the ball through, running all the way through, 1-on-1 with the keeper. Big save by Vicario, and then the follow-up was shot by Palmer. And that's palmed away by Vicario, and then the flag does go up against Nicholas Jackson. Wow, wait. Well, the Spurs fans still very vocal inside this stadium. The game, I don't think this game could get any more crazy. 9 men, so many disallowed goals. I mean, Spurs had a goal disallowed. Chelsea have had about 3 or 4 disallowed. We've had 2 red cards, multiple checks for red cards, a penalty. I mean, what more do we need? All we need now is a guy on a parachute to fly into the stadium and stop the game, or a striker. That's all we need, because we've had everything else in this match of football. My goodness. Well, if Chelsea are looking to win here, and they very much are, if they've a 2-man advantage, the last time they won away at Tottenham in the Premier League was in 2021 in a 3-0 victory. They have failed to win away at Tottenham since then. Spurs, in the league that is, since then. Fascinating. But they're well on the verge of it here. They could be on the verge of a win here. Although, with Chelsea this season and their finishing, they do need to score goals to win, remember. Here's Mudryk. Gallagher switching the ball out to the right-hand side. James with a strike! Just wide of the left post by Reece James. Spurs felt there was a handball in there. Maybe a handball against Reece James there if it had went in. Remember, Chelsea have already had a goal disallowed for a handball. Raheem Sterling. Spurs are going to make a double change. So, Pap Sarr is going to leave the field. He's the only other Spurs player on the field on a yellow card. He's leaving the field. He will be replaced by Rodrigo Bentancur, and Oliver Skipp is also coming on. He will replace Dejan Kulusevski, the Spurs goal scorer of the evening. So a double change for Spurs. Bentancur and Skipp on, Sarr and Kulusevski off. There you go. So Spurs making midfield changes and going a bit more defensive now. I think the only attacking player they have, if I'm not mistaken, is Heung-min Son on the pitch now. Maddison, Johnson and Kulusevski all replaced for various different players at various different times in the game for various different reasons. My goodness me. Surely this game will go down in history as one of the greatest Premier League games in history. Not about the scoreline. It's all about just the amount of action and the amount of incidents and craziness we've had in this match. It's just sensational. Sensational. Spurs get a free kick here, I think. They do. They've taken that. Remember, 9 men on the pitch. Should be some task if they could do it here, Spurs. Even to get a point with 9 men would be massive. Remember, that's what Liverpool tried to do here against Spurs. 9 to 9 men and ended up losing. The last second, the Joel Matip own goal for 10-man Liverpool, or 9-man Liverpool that day. It's now 9-man Spurs that have to hold on their home ground against one of their biggest rivals in Chelsea. At 1-1 and still have 30 minutes or so to play. Trying it too quickly. Not patient enough there, Chelsea. Tried to play the ball far too quickly and Sterling was well covered. Spurs have it back. Dyer. Skip down the line. Trying to find Son there were Spurs, but that was broke apart by Silva. And then Cucurella has it back. Finds it now in the midfield of Reece James, who's taken up a middle roll through the middle now. Reece James. Ball over the top from Chelsea again. Sterling on the run. Jackson's there in the middle. Sterling just lost out, and Højbjerg does well to avoid giving away the corner. Only a throw in. And let's just remind you, there are only 3 outfield players for Spurs that are still on the pitch that started it 62 minutes ago. Heung-min Son, the captain, Yves Bissouma, and Pedro Porro. Every other Spurs player has either been substituted or sent off. That's outfield players, by the way. 5 substitutions and 2 sending offs. Jesus. This is nuts. Nuts. Chelsea, on the other hand, have made two changes in the game. Enzo Fernandez and Levi Colwill. Well, Ange Postecoglou hasn't lost a home game in any game in charge of a club since November 2020. 52 games unbeaten at home. 44 wins and 8 draws in that 52 game period. Chelsea could be the team to destroy that record for Ange Postecoglou on his home turf. As the manager, Mudryk. Now the ball through. Vicario comes. Vicario kicks and Vicario clears it down the line, down the pitch. Sweeper keeper at its best there from Vicario. Caicedo. Forgot he was even on the pitch. Cucurella. Down the left is Mudryk. Causing issues since he's come onto the field. Mikhailo Mudryk. Mudryk back to Gallagher. Now Cucurella back to Gallagher again. Gallagher switching the ball out to the right hand side for James. Chests it down in the box. Cuts it back for Caicedo. Across to Cucurella. Now through to Mudryk in the box. Mudryk with a flick across. Chelsea had players there. Moises Caicedo keeps it alive. Gallagher. Piling bodies around the Spurs defence, but Spurs have bodies back and the ball through. James and Højbjerg has to clear it behind for the corner. Reece James with a cross there. Højbjerg with a clearance behind for the Chelsea corner. Taking it quickly. Gallagher. Back to Caicedo. Now Palmer. Cucurella. Thiago Silva. Chelsea have all their players in the up this part of the pitch. Into the Spurs final third. Cucurella. Feeds it through. Mudryk with space on the left. Puts a cross in. Too deep from Mikhailo Mudryk. And that will run for a goal kick to Spurs. 25 minutes. Plus additional time to go. 1-1 here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I thought it couldn't get any crazier from the first half. Somehow it has. With Chelsea now playing a 9-man Spurs team that have a 1-1 draw to cling on to. It'll be the miracle of all miracles if they can get any more than a draw out of this Spurs. Cucurella. Silva. Reece James. Down the right here. Jackson was there trying to make a run through, but cleared away. Dizazi with the ball over the top. Mudryk makes the run, but the flag will go up against Mikhailo Mudryk right away. No hesitance there from the linesman on that side, and that will be a free kick to Spurs. Stephen McCulloch why did I say it like that? Stephen McCulloch in the chat says, even Kevin been busy decorating, almost finished first game I caught in a while. The red card conundrum: if any team goes below 7 players, the game is abandoned. You can have no more than 4 reds. One team can have no more than 4 reds. I thought it was over the 2 teams, but there we go. So they have to have at least 7 players on the pitch, Spurs, for this game to continue. I don't think they're going to go down to 7 or down to 8 at any point. Ball over the top. Cucurella's made the run and behind the flag. Stayed down. Cucurella to put them ahead. Spins past his man. Big save, Vicario. Jackson on the follow-up and skips there to steal it away. This is some performance from Spurs. Chelsea are catching them out every time on the break, but somehow Spurs, against all odds, are recovering time and time again. James, they come again, Chelsea, down the right. Palmer beats his man. Palmer out to the edge, finds Caicedo. Cole Palmer has the ball forward, and the flag will go up again against someone. That assistant on that side has some job to do, because Chelsea are going to do that time and time again. Put the balls over the top against Spurs players. Cucurella thinks just onside there. What a run from Cucurella. Spotted beautifully. And Vicario, what a save. Diving right at the feet of Cucurella to stop him. That is so brave from Vicario. Does so well. Beats the Chelsea man to the shot. The follow-up from Jackson. He tries to open up for the strike and skip on the cover. It's some full-hearted performance from Chelsea. They tried to be too cute with it. And there's an issue here for Spurs as their big man keeper Vicario has gone down. And Luke says in the chat, come on Chelsea, you Blues. Well, at the moment, they're struggling to find the net against this Spurs team. 9-man Spurs team. They're having chances, Chelsea, but Spurs are holding on, clinging on. Chelsea have had 6 shots in the second half, 3 of them on target. Spurs have just the 1. That's compared to Chelsea's first half, where they had 7 shots and 2 on target. In that first half, they've had 71% of the ball, Chelsea, of course, as expected. They've had 2 corners, but they've been offside 5 times in this second half alone. Over the whole game, they've been offside 7 times, Chelsea. That shows exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to put the ball over the top and test this Spurs defence, which is depleted. But the save ratio of Vicario this season is only matched by Liverpool's Alisson at 77.8% save ratio. That is unreal how good that is. But he's only matched by Alisson with the exact same percentage. And we know how impactful he is for Liverpool defensively. Alisson. That's how impactful Vicario is for Spurs defensively. And a good keeper, a top-class keeper, will save you on more than enough occasions in a season. Spurs will get a throw in here. Stephen says, if Spurs hold on, there's no hope for Chelsea this season. Well, that will be a massive opportunity missed, of course, if Chelsea don't get the 3 points here. Against 9-man Spurs, everything is going against Spurs. They don't have any Maddison, they don't have a Johnson, they don't have a Kulishevsky anymore on the field. They're relying upon Son and Son alone, and that's if Spurs can get the ball to Son anyway. You know, they're struggling to do that because they've 9 men on the pitch. It's not a surprise they're struggling to do that. But if they ever do so, Chelsea only have 1 man to really cover. What a terrible ball. This is where Chelsea need to stop messing about. I mean, they have a free kick, and this is probably one of the worst free kicks I've seen in a long time. It's awful from Conor Gallagher, I think, that takes it. And he's trying to find the switch ball to Raheem Sterling and completely hits it into the stands in the far end. Gifting a Spurs throw-in. Awful that from Chelsea. And that's the thing. You know, we talk about it time and time again when teams go down to 10 and the opposition struggle against 10 men. That 10 men, it's 9 men in this case for Spurs, but the 10 men usually are galvanised. The fact that they've one less player, they're pushing, they're fighting against all odds. It's kind of that camaraderie that kind of helps them through. And this is something Chelsea need to conjure up and kind of put to bed. They've 20 minutes to do that. But Spurs at the moment are putting in some performance and have won another free kick off Mikhailo Mudryk. Porro goes down this time. The referee instantly there had a good view of it and instantly given Spurs the free kick, and Porro cheering to that crowd behind the goal, trying to get them behind the team. Credit to the Spurs crowd, they've been behind this Spurs team all night. No matter what's happened on the field, they've been all behind them. And Luke says, bro, Tottenham Hotspur not having the match, 2 red cards. James Maddison is injured. I'm starting to feel bad for Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, I've never heard that before from a Chelsea fan, but there you go. First time for everything. Long ball from Spurs. The Son went down there. Felt he was fouled, but the referee waved that one away. Caicedo, Palmer, Dizazi. Palmer. Spurs have 18 minutes plus additional time to hold on. If they can hold on to this. Oh, Porro gets the break of the ball against Gallagher. Tries to get past Cucurella, and Cucurella fouling Pedro Porro in the process. Porro will get the free kick here for Tottenham. Just see it. Porro spins away from Cucurella, and the ball gets away from Cucurella. Doesn't do much there, Cucurella, but it is a foul. Here's Bentancur from the free kick. Hits it straight at a Chelsea player. Gallagher trying to carry it away for Spurs now. Gallagher to Dizazi. Down the right hand side is Reece James and a lot of space. Down the right flank is Sterling. Palmer trying to play it through the lines. Too much. Recovered by Spurs again. Luke says, my prediction was 2-2. Don't mind a draw. Yeah, but I mean, in the circumstances, Luke, let's be real. If Chelsea don't win this against 9-man Spurs, it's more on Chelsea rather than it is on Spurs. Let's get real here. You know? It was this kind of similar situation. If Spurs didn't win against 9-man Liverpool here, it would be more disappointment for Spurs and elation for Liverpool. You won't take it as a point gained. You'll take it as 2 points dropped in the end. You know what I mean? But still a long way to go. Still a lot to confirm in the game, and still a long way to go. As the ball in behind, here's Raheem Sterling. Flag stayed down. Sterling plays it across. Jackson finishes. And at last, Chelsea have broken the offside trap, and Jackson has finished it. Just as I talked about, it would be disappointing if Chelsea didn't score and take this game to Spurs and take the lead. Spurs now trying to figure out what went wrong for there, but it's the offside trap. They've played it all night, and so many times Chelsea have been caught offside, but that one they aren't. That one Sterling timed it beautifully, played it across to Jackson, who's been there all night to try and finish it, and he slots it past Vicario for 2-1. Yeah, Sterling is onside here, easily. It was, I think, Royale that played them onside there. Raheem Sterling plays the ball through the lines, lovely from Reece James. Sterling, simple enough, plays it, squares it right across the box for Nicholas Jackson to slot it, and he does just that past Vicario. Free open net for Jackson at the back post. Lovely goal by Chelsea. And now it is a big, big task for Spurs. They're not going to get anything out of the game now, but maybe they might throw something at it. Throw everything at it. You've got nothing to lose now. Spurs 1, Chelsea 2. Spurs down to 9 men. And Mauricio Pochettino could be haunting his old side, although I can't believe I'm saying this. There's a VAR check for a possible offside. I think Sterling's on. He is onside. They're checking this. My goodness. I mean, you can see it with the naked eye. It was clearly onside. The lines have confirmed that. And that is a goal. It will remain a goal. There's no issues with that. I think John Brooks is just wanting another involvement. He's been involved that many times, he just wants to be involved more and more. He needs to take a break. Go and have a coffee or something. Jesus, give us a break. But he's got the decision correct, and Nicholas Jackson get his third Premier League goal of the season to put Chelsea ahead. That means quite a lot. It means Spurs might see their first defeat of the season. And Ange Postecoglou's 52-game unbeaten home record as a manager will come to an end, it seems. Still a while to go, though, before any of that is confirmed. Stephen says, I'm a Liverpool fan, I've no dog in the fight. Spurs luck were due to run out. Honeymoon period over. Chelsea making another change. Captain Reece James is coming off, and Malo Gusto is coming on in his place. Well, now they've got that goal, they just need to manage the game out now, Chelsea. Don't do anything stupid to give Spurs a chance. And they've just given away a cheap free kick here, Chelsea. Exactly what I said they shouldn't do. And Emerson Royale's won a free kick for Spurs. Luke's singing in the chat. So Spurs have a free kick. I mean, they can just throw everything at this now, Spurs. 2-1 down. They've nothing to lose. Down to 9 men. You have to just throw everything at it. They're piling bodies forward. 4 or 5 bodies forward. That's not many in the grand scheme of things, but for Spurs players on the pitch. Oh! I think he's offside, though. Eric Dyer has put the ball in the net, but I think he's just offside. They're going to check it. Michael Oliver's saying that VAR will check it, but I have to just explain this again. It's a free kick from Spurs from the left-hand side. It's right footed. It's delivered in. It's flicked on. Yeah, he's offside. But whether it comes off Dizazi, does it come off Dizazi's head? See it again. Bentancur thought he'd headed it. It might come off Dizazi's head last. It's a fantastic finish by Eric Dyer at the back post. Side foots it past Robert Sanchez into the far corner. But it might come off Dizazi's head last. I don't actually know. But I said Chelsea giving away something stupid. And they're now checking it. VAR. He's offside initially, Eric Dyer. But whether it comes off the head of Axel Dizazi, this will be counted as a deliberate action by Dizazi if it does come off his head, because he's going up to win the ball. And if he does head it and it falls back to Dyer, then he should be onside, Dyer, and it shouldn't be an offside decision. And they're going to draw the lines for some reason. I think they're checking for the other player. For Spurs, they are drawing the lines. I mean, it looks pretty conclusive that he is offside, but we will wait and see. VAR checking it. Spurs might have another equaliser here. They might have the equaliser with 11 minutes to go. We will wait and see. Eric Dyer waits, painstakingly waiting for VAR's decision. It was ruled out offside on the field. He looks pretty conclusive there, but whether it comes off Dizazi's head, that's where I'm making the point. It does come off Bentancur's head, but whether it comes off Dizazi's head after that, maybe it is tighter than we thought. It could be quite... This is crazy. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is given onside, because we've had just that crazy game. He's off. So the decision is in an offside position. Eric Dyer. So the goal is not given. So Spurs don't have a goal back, but maybe that could give them confidence. They find the back of the net. They've done it once. They can do it again with 9 men. Well, despite him being in an offside position, it wasn't massively offside. VAR had to get the lines out, so it wasn't that far off. Maybe they still can't believe, Spurs. But that goal was disallowed on the field, and VAR concluded that it was the correct decision, and no goal was given for Spurs there. Eric Dyer thought he'd put them ahead. Or ahead, back level, sorry. Chelsea just now to hold on. Keep managing this game. Sterling. Maybe even get a third to end the game, really. At this point. Oh, that's it's It's a late one. Sterling pulling the man down there. Spurs will get another free kick. Inside their own half this time, though. Eric Dyer will take this. Or, sorry, not Eric Dyer. Pierre Højbjerg will take this one. Højbjerg will go long, trying to catch the keeper off his line. It was an optimistic one, but something enough catch for Robert Sanchez there. Had to go for it, surely. Oh, Sanchez under pressure. Gives it out to Cucurella nicely. Does well. Now Palmer. Stephen says there has to be at least 30 minutes extra time with all the carnage tonight. Well, we had 12 added minutes in the first half. I don't know if we'll be getting anywhere near that in the second half, but we might. We've had quite a lot of, stoppages in the second half. We've had a red card, we've goal disallowed, we've had so much drama in this game. It's unreal. Here's Mikhailo Mudryk driving down the left. Blocked off by Porro, and Porro challenging in for the ball there. Referee said he got it fairly. Chelsea have won it back though. Mudryk still down. Referee's played advantage. Gallagher. Cucurella. Back to Gallagher. Sterling. And Fun says, would you say Tottenham have been robbed? No, I wouldn't. Because I think both red cards are very fair. The first one, I think, is dangerous from Christian Romero. Follow through is on Enzo Fernandez is inexcusable. It's just horrendous. Studs up. Adogi probably should have been sent off earlier in the game for a similar type challenge on Raheem Sterling. Luckily, Sterling got out of his way, and he was very close. I didn't think it was a red, but he could have easily got a red. And then Adogi did get sent off for a second yellow. A terrible, stupid decision to challenge Sterling. So I don't think they've been robbed at all. So I really don't. Fun's really loving this. Good work. I love that. Well, this is the end of the Premier League weekend, but we've got more Premier League football up for you next weekend. We have a cracker on Super Sunday next weekend. We have West Ham against Forest from 2 next Sunday before Chelsea are back in action. They host Manchester City at Stamford Bridge. That's next Sunday at 4:30. Those are our 2 big games next week. Spurs are back in action at the next weekend. They have a lunchtime kickoff away at Wolves next Saturday lunchtime. And Bournemouth play Newcastle at 5:30 next Saturday. We might not have those games on live, but those are the games on television next week. We do have Champions League action this midweek. Arsenal in action on Wednesday night against Sevilla. We'll have that one live for you from the Emirates. And West Ham as well, another London team in action on Thursday night against Olympiacos at the London Stadium on Thursday night. A lot of action still to come on LFS this coming week. Hopefully you do look forward to that. Here's Spurs on the left. They haven't given up yet, Spurs, nor should they. I don't think. Højbjerg. Any UCL stuff next week? Well, this week, yes. There's Tuesday night action, but unsure as to whether we'll be live for that tomorrow. We were thinking about doing the Atletico-Celtic match. We're unsure about that, though. I will keep you up to date with that. I'll let you know about that tomorrow, whether we will be doing that game. But we will have Arsenal-Sevilla on Wednesday night for you, definitely. Challenged by Malo Gusto here on Royale. Does get booked there, Gusto. Poor yellow card to give away. Poor free kick to give away, really, for Chelsea. In a high-up area for Spurs. Might not be over yet, this game. As mad as it's been, a late equaliser from 9-man Spurs wouldn't be against the run of play, or against the story of this game. Porro, right-footed, cross in. Bouncing around! Oh, what an opportunity. Rodrigo Bentancur, inches away from that one. Goodness me, right-footed from Porro, right into the box, over the head of Dyer, and Bentancur heads it down onto the ground. Oh, goodness me. So close. What an opportunity for Spurs. Thiago Silva trying to calm themselves down. Chelsea haven't managed this game at all. I have to say, when I said they put themselves 2-1 up, or down around 10 minutes ago, I said, you need to manage this game, see this game out, because Spurs will probably throw everything at you now. Just manage the game, take the sting out of the game and stop them in their tracks. But they haven't done that at all, Chelsea. Spurs have had 2 golden opportunities to score. But here comes Gusto, breaking down the right. Chelsea could finish it here with a cross. Porro there to cover it and clear it away for the Chelsea corner. Fan, you're really loving this. Well, as an Arsenal fan, I don't blame you. I'm not an Arsenal fan. Fun's an Arsenal fan. I wouldn't associate myself as an Arsenal fan. Anyway, Chelsea have a corner on the right-hand side. Certainly a goal now for Chelsea would end the game, obviously. 2-goal lead will be too much for Spurs to overcome to try and get a point at this late stage, but with it still being 1 goal separating the two, still that one kind of moment could change the game completely, either one way or another. Sterling trying to work his way into the box. Spurs have bodies in the way. Højbjerg picks it up. Bentancur trying to carry it away. Uses nice skill to get past Cucurella initially, but it's going nowhere and loses the possession to Thiago Silva. Gusto. Sorry, Cucurella, apologies. Chelsea pressured there was Gallagher by Bissouma, but they do keep the possession, Chelsea. 2 minutes plus additional time to go. Spurs down to 9, 1. Chelsea with 11, 2. Oh, Vicario coming out. Mudryk was late there on Vicario. Emerson Royale wants a red. I think he's gone a bit far there, Royale. I don't think that's a red card, but it's definitely a yellow for Mikhailo Mudryk, who sees a yellow card given against him. And Vicario rolling about on the ground. See the replay of it again. It's the ball from Moises Caicedo. Mudryk runs in behind and just challenges the keeper late. The keeper clears his lines and challenge comes late from Mudryk after the ball's gone away. There's not much in it, but it is a follow through by Mudryk. And nothing doing for VAR, thankfully. Højbjerg and Jackson just having a quick chat between the two players there. Stephen says an Arsenal fan singing the Chelsea Blues. Yeah, not very often that happens. Very rarely. It seems like Chelsea are going to upset their two of their London rivals. They seem to be doing well in London derbies this season, Chelsea, against their biggest rivals. Their only loss in a London derby this campaign was against Chelsea, apologies. They lost to West Ham as well. They're the only two. They've lost to West Ham and Brentford. They've drawn against Arsenal. They might win against Spurs here with minutes to go. They beat Fulham as well in a London derby. So they've had decent form in London derbies this season, Chelsea. They've beaten the big teams. They've done numbers on the big teams in Arsenal and Spurs, but can't beat the likes of a Brentford or a West Ham. And Chelsea are going to make another substitution, and as the 90-minute mark has surpassed, we will have 9 minutes of additional time. So 21 added minutes in total over the two halves. That is how much disruption we've had. 21 added minutes overall in the game. And the substitution from Chelsea there, Ugochukwu, is coming on. The chat's cracking me up. Oh, great. So the 9 minutes added time. Long ball from the back there. Oh, that's a poor one from Cole Palmer. Just shoving Emerson Royale. He's had enough. And Chelsea, Spurs get another free kick. Chelsea need to stop doing this. Stop giving away cheap free kicks. You're just putting pressure on yourself, and Spurs have already shown from 2 free kicks they can find the net and they can put pressure on this Chelsea defence. Ball into the box. Headed by Caicedo. Not cleared away. Dyer keeps it alive. Brought down by Son. Oh, and he had the chance to try and spin away, but didn't notice where the ball was, Son, and is frustrated at himself there. Spurs get the throw in, though. Steve says you're on overtime. Well, I'd have to try and take out overtime on this for 21 added minutes. Have conversations, certainly. Højbjerg with the ball from the back. Royale, now Bentancur. Bissouma to Højbjerg. Still going here, Spurs. Bentancur with a cross. Blocked by Gusto and just avoided the corner, giving it away there, Gusto, but will give away the throw-in. Spurs growing here. He does well there, Gusto, to not give away the corner, but Spurs still believe that they can get something out of this, and with 6.5 minutes still on the clock, I wouldn't say they're too far wrong. And they've given away a free kick there. Pedro Porro, challenge on Cucurella, will give Chelsea the free kick. Stephen says, every time we say Royale, I think Burger King and a chicken Royale. I love that. Oh, you're going to make me hungry now. Free kick to Chelsea. Thiago Silva to Mudryk on the halfway line. Stolen away by Spurs. Now Højbjerg finds it through to Son. Son going through. Son! Big save by Sanchez! Goodness me! Heung-min Son! So close! Takes the strike. It doesn't connect with it massively well, but still forces a save out of Robert Sanchez. And now Gallagher on the break. Chelsea could finish it here. Chelsea the end at Jackson! That's it. Nicholas Jackson wraps it all up. 2 goals for Jackson in the second half. And Chelsea have a third. Just after Spurs could have levelled it. Chelsea go up the other end and do end up finishing this game. Spurs 1, Chelsea 3, and it looks like Spurs will lose for the very first time this season. And that highlight does catch Spurs out twice in this second half. He knew Chelsea would test them, and they've ended up paying the price for it. And Nicholas Jackson gets 2 on the night. He had 2 Premier League goals all season before tonight, but he's got 2 on the night. And it's all from their own half. They've done it all night, Chelsea, trying to catch Spurs out from that high line. And it's one ball out from the back from Palmer, finding Gallagher, cuts it across to Jackson. It's almost similar to Jackson's, almost identical to Jackson's first goal. Run down the right hand side, squared across, and Jackson there to finish it in the middle. But the Spurs fans haven't given up. Well, they should give up because 3-1 down, but they haven't given up on their team tonight. They've given their everything, Spurs, but with 9 men, there's only so much you can do. As Liverpool brutally found out here at Tottenham earlier in the season. And Spurs will have found out tonight. That's twice this season that a team with 9 men have played on this pitch. Ange Postecoglou, emotionless, but far from that from the Spurs crowd, who have given all their support for their team all night, even when they have been under the cosh against Chelsea and went down to 10 and then went down to 9. Spurs fans have stayed with their team right the way through. Chelsea made hard work of it, but they look like they will get the 3 points. The free kick from Spurs into the box again, but the flag is up. That'll not go to anything, and we will play out the last 3 minutes here where Chelsea will get the 3 points that will put Chelsea back into the top half of the table. Only their 4th win of the season, remember, for Chelsea. Having played 11 games, 15 points for them. Sitting 10th. They will still be 11 points adrift of Spurs. Spurs will be a point off Manchester City at the top. They won't be going back to the top of the table, and it will mean at least every team in the league has been beaten at least once this season. Spurs remain the only unbeaten side coming into this one after Arsenal's defeat to Newcastle on Saturday, and Chelsea have looked to do the same to stop Spurs' unbeaten run. 10 games unbeaten is an unbelievable start for Ange Postecoglou. 8 wins in his first 10 games, be it in 11, and Chelsea are making the run through, and Jackson's on a hat-trick. Jackson going round the keeper. Nicholas Jackson makes it 4 for Chelsea. The ball in behind again, and Chelsea have 2 players running for it, and Nicholas Jackson, probably the easiest hat-trick he'll ever score in his life, in his career, and he's got it here at one of Chelsea's biggest rivals, Tottenham. It's the halfway line again. Spurs just have their line on the halfway line, and when you have it that high up, almost impossible for Chelsea to be caught offside. They make the runs in behind, and Nicholas Jackson makes the run himself, goes all the way himself. Mudryk was there with him. He goes round the keeper and side foots it into an empty net for Chelsea to make it 4. And that will certainly give him a lot of confidence, Nicholas Jackson. 3 goals. More goals scored tonight than he had all season coming into this one. And Ange Postecoglou shaking his head. Well, I mean, why are they still playing a high line with 9 men? I'll never know, but that's what you get. Even when you come up against Chelsea, who can't score, even if you paid them to score, they still couldn't. And his first hat-trick for his club. Nicholas Jackson, talk about lack of quality up front for Chelsea this season, especially as a striker. But Jackson has put the goals on the sheet tonight and making fun of Spurs. Now they come forward again here. Mudryk now running in, cuts it back. Jackson. Well, there you go. That's probably why he's getting criticism. Another huge opportunity to score. He could have had 4 tonight, and he skied that one over the bar. Wow. He's shaking his head. This has to be the craziest game ever. Honestly. See you again, son. Or fun, sorry. Stephen says Chelsea got the bragging rights in London this week. They do indeed. And that's the final whistle. Michael Oliver calls to an end one of the craziest games of the season. A game where Spurs went down to 9. Chelsea had about 6 goals ruled offside and disallowed on the night, trying to catch Spurs' offside trap. They ended up getting 2 goals, catching them out in the end from that in the second half. But Chelsea and Mauricio Pochettino can take this as kind of 3 points against one of the best teams in the league, but against a 9-man Spurs team in the end. They couldn't do it against 11, couldn't do it against 10, had to do it against 9 in the end, Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson with a hat-trick, sealing the deal for Chelsea in the second half. His 3 goals turned it from a 1-1 draw to a 4-1 Chelsea win. Spurs beaten for the first time this season. 10 games unbeaten, but it couldn't be 11. Ange Postecoglou beaten for the first time as a home manager in 52 games, unbeaten since 2020, but beaten here tonight by Chelsea. Spurs will have no Mickey van de Ven or Christian Romero for the next game, or Destiny Udogie for that matter. Romero will miss 3, Udogie will miss 1, Van de Ven might miss a few weeks through injury. James Maddison also came off with an injury issue. It couldn't be any worse for Spurs tonight to lose the game after losing so many key players on the night. The only positive for them tonight is that Heung-min Son stayed on the pitch and didn't get injured at any point. That's probably the only positive that Spurs can take from tonight. But on the night, it was Chelsea's night. Luck going their way as well, and they get the 3 points. Final score from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium: it's Tottenham 1, Chelsea 4.